Hey, it's your contrarian soul guide, Dawn, and you're listening to Sovereignty Rising, the space where we unlearn the fear and reclaim the flame. You've done the healing, you've cleared the clutter, you've remembered your power, you've reconnected to your truth, and now comes the real work living it. This is the moment you stop talking about alignment and start walking it. This is where sovereignty stops being a concept and becomes how you move in the world. Welcome to Sovereignty Rising. Ditch the fear, embrace your flame. I'm Dawn Elgin, contrarian soul guide, visionary mystic, and creatrix of practical spiritualism. And this is the space where we strip away the fear, burn the old stories down, and reclaim the power that was never truly lost, just buried. Here, we dive into raw, unfiltered conversations on emotional healing, spiritual awakening, and the art of unlearning everything that keeps you stuck, small, and disconnected from your truth. Together, we rise like phoenixes. Flame first, fear last. Let's rise together. So, what does embodied sovereignty actually mean? Let's get real here. It's one thing to feel powerful in your journal. It's another thing to speak your truth in a room that expects your silence. It's one thing to set boundaries in theory, and it's another to hold them when somebody's pushing back. Embodied sovereignty means your nervous system is aligned with your values. Your words match your energy. Your choices reflect your truth, not your programming. This is where soul meets action. Not perfection, but integration. So, why do we hesitate to live it out loud? Well, so often we stop just short of embodiment because of one thing: fear of being too much, too loud, too direct, too sensitive, too weird, too deep. And underneath that fear is a memory of the time you spoke up and were punished. And maybe it's even more than one. It's of the moment you stood out and were rejected, of the belief that says it's safer to shrink. But here's the truth: you were actually never too much. You were just surrounded by people who couldn't hold your truth, at least not at that time. And that's not your fault, but it is your responsibility now. Aligned action is sacred leadership. And living your truth out loud means saying no and not explaining, or at least not over explaining. It means holding a boundary with love, but without guilt. It means launching something that's maybe not trendy, but it is true. It's true for you. It's choosing presence over performance. You are not here to fit. You're here to lead. And leadership doesn't mean having it all figured out. It means going. It could mean going first. As the Course in Miracles says, you teach what you are. So, what are you teaching by how you live? So, I want us to practice today the out loud activation. Let's go ahead and drop into our bodies. And as always, I'm going to caveat as I'm about to say close your eyes to mention if you are driving or doing anything else where that would be dangerous, please don't. You can always do this practice with your eyes open or come back to it later. But for the rest of us, if it's in a place that you can do it, either close your eyes or even just soften your gaze. And I want you to bring all of your awareness to the center of your chest. You can imagine your senses like windows. And your awareness goes to those senses, goes through those senses. So just like when you have windows open and you can hear all this noise outside, we can retract our awareness from the noise by retracting our awareness from our senses. So bringing all of your awareness into the center of your heart. retracting the sense of hearing from the distance to your body to within, retracting that sense of sight, bringing it all the way into the center of your chest, retracting from the sense of taste, from the sense of smell, bringing everything inward, like you're closing those windows, closing out all that dust, all that debris, all that chaos. Even your sense of touch, you can move it from the edges of your body, from your skin, into your body as sensation, moving it deeper within to the bones, to the center, to your heart. Bringing all of that awareness to the center of your heart. And bring to mind an area of your life you've been quieting your truth. And don't judge it. Don't judge yourself. It is what it is. Just bring it to mind. Be present with it. And maybe you notice specific voices or people that are involved in it. And even those, I don't want you to judge. It's not good or bad, right or wrong. It simply has been what it was up until this moment. Just notice it. Bring all of your awareness to it. And now ask, what would it sound like if I spoke this truth out loud? What would it feel like if I made one aligned move today? And feel that in your body. Feel it in your chest. Taking a beautiful deep breath in and out. And then say, I choose to speak from alignment. I choose to move from truth. I choose to embody the version of me who already knows. Let that land. One choice, one word, one move. That's all it takes to begin. There was a time I watered everything down. My truth, my presence, my spiritual beliefs, my edge, because I thought I had to be more digestible. I thought I had to build trust by playing it safe. But the truth is, the moment I dropped the mask and started to really live it out loud, the right people came. The right opportunities aligned. And most of all, I got to feel like me again. This podcast is really proof of that. I'm not here really to be liked. It's always lovely. I'm here to be real. And that's what you're here for too. It is so easy for us to get pulled into what other people believe we should be, what we think we should be. And for years, I was a chameleon. I was a wallflower. I could fit into any group. And part of that is because I had no strong likes or dislikes. I could easily listen to rap, I could listen to rock, I could listen to pop. So none of that was a problem. I could fit in with different groups and I enjoyed the costume of different clothes. So I didn't really worry about it. And in some ways, I can look back and see how that actually really made certain things easy for me to not be so worried by trends, but you just kind of fit and move into those things. I didn't identify as my clothes. And the problem is when we don't really own who we are. Like, that's all great. We don't need to identify as our clothes. We don't need to identify as our music. We don't need to only spend time with people who like the same things as us at all. As a matter of fact, my inner circle now is incredibly diverse, and we each have our own unique ways of being. And I honestly love it. I love that we don't all see things the same way. I love that we don't all dress alike. We can totally love on one another and encourage each other to be ourselves without needing to fit in anymore. And the truth is I can tell you one of the hardest parts of this journey is actually trying to have real conversations. I don't really love topical conversations. It's not my thing. I don't mind groups. I don't mind big events. I don't mind any of that. I don't mind having some drinks. I don't mind not drinking. So I can kind of shift as I feel the need and what suits me. But I struggle when I spend time with people where I can't have a deeper conversation. And for a lot of people, they don't always want to. They want to just have something topical. And I'm not talking about conversations like politics or religion. I'm talking about intimacy. I want to have a deeper conversation. I want to understand you. I want to know what you like and what you dislike and why. I want to know where you're at on your journey and cheer you on as you disentangle from the illusions of these roles that we're playing. I want to spend time with people who encourage me to disentangle from these roles, that will support me as I try and figure all of this out. I'm one of those people that in the morning I read usually some sort of spiritual work. Right now I'm reading Eknatheswaran's translation of the Bhagavad Gita. Um, and then I also tend to listen to some sort of spiritual work. So it maybe would be the last book I'd listened to before had been Martha Beck's The Way of Integrity. And then I listened to just recently, I just finished listening to Eckhart Tolle's book, A New Earth. And now I'm just halfway through listening to Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now. And I enjoy listening to books that make me think, make me consider, that push me to become aware of myself, where I'm still getting caught. And so even like listening to Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now, it makes me hyper aware of how often I loop back into conversations that maybe I had over the weekend, or ways I wish I had said something, or what did they mean by that? And so it makes me aware of it. And then it allows me to be really gentle with myself and go, okay, well, that already happened and it's not now. So how about you just be present? And then I can just keep gently guiding myself back. And so I really embed and download myself into work that aligns with this, with who do I choose to be? And that's the question I ask every morning. Who do you choose to be today? And what can I do that will support me to be that person? What can I listen to? What can I consume? And often we don't think about things like the consumption of what we take in, not only through our mouth, but through our eyes and our ears. And so if we're letting our awareness go to violence, to things that don't support this journey of who we choose to be, then it's going to impact us. The more that we listen and watch and consume violence, the more okay with violence we're going to be. We're going to be able to justify it. We're going to be able to excuse it. And the less that we are involved in that, it's not that we become judgmental. It's just that we become super aware of what's going on and how we can make that adjustment, how we can adjust our needs, adjust what we want to be. It's not that by not watching, movies and TV shows that we suddenly become judgmental of these things, but it gives us an opportunity to have discernment, to be able to pull out and see a bigger picture, to not get sucked in to the drama. And it's easy to get sucked in. There's so much noise. So much noise. And when we take a look at social media, when we take a look at the news, at TV programming, even the way that it's all designed to keep us coming back for more. And I don't judge it because I understand it. make money off of people watching and advertisements and all of those things. There's not judgment there, but it's for us to become aware of it and then choose, is that where I want to put my energy? Is that where I want to feed my life force into? Is that what I want to be consuming? And does that support me? And so what happens often with the ego, so again, ego is the identification with form. So our ego is created when we begin to identify as form. This is my body. These are my thoughts. These are my feelings. That this is my family. We're identifying with the environment. That is all the creation of ego. And then from there is the cultivation of ego is personality. And when we think of it from that point of view, our ego, the smaller self, this role or roles that we're playing, it enjoys being in charge. And watching those types of programs, listening to that kind of music or radio, that stuff will allow us to be more pulled by the outer world and less guided by our internal world. And so the more that we desire to awaken, to disentangle from these illusions that are really the cause of suffering, because all of our suffering is caused by the identification with form. And thought becomes the baseline of all of that. And so if I think things should be different than they are, I suffer. Even whether that's I should be different than I am, or other people should be different, or the world should be different, all of it is the cause of my suffering. And so the more that I consume things that help continuously pull me out of that type of thinking, out of the chaos, it's like we swim in this world because we're still meant to be here. We're having a human experience, but it's like we put on our life vest. It's not that we stop swimming. It's not that we get out of the water. It's just that we're really aware of the water. We're aware of where we are and what it is that we're doing, and we're making a choice. Am I going to do a backstroke, or am I going to swim front stroke? Am I going to butterfly kick? We're making our choices. And so we're aware. We're not just flailing around thinking we are stuck in this water. And that's what I want for you. I want you to be able to recognize, this is my truth. This is who I am, and use things that will support you on that reclamation, that will support you on knowing who you are, that will support you on just even getting to know who you are and moving in that direction, finding people that you can have those kinds of conversations with. It doesn't mean that we stop being friends with people that don't, but it might mean that we spend less time with them. It might mean that we spend less certain types of time with them. So maybe instead of going out for drinks, it's going for a walk or a hike. Maybe it's going out and doing something instead. Or maybe it's finding people that you can have those more soul-led conversations about your values or what you're learning and how interesting those things are, and somebody actually wants to have a conversation with you about them. And that's what I want for you. So here's the invitation. Don't just believe in your power. I want you to be your power. So keep pulling in so that you can remember you are. You are the one that's always aware. Don't just talk about your truth, live it. Even if your voice shakes, even if it doesn't make sense to anyone else, even if it scares you a little or a lot, and trust me, sometimes it does. This week, ask yourself, what would it look like to let my truth take up space? And then do one bold thing. Say it, choose it, change it. That's what living your sovereignty looks like in action. And if you want support to keep integrating this way of being, you can check out my website. We have lots of different ways that we can connect, some free offers and tools and resources there for you. There's also our Awakening Circle, which is a free private Facebook community where we delve into just deeper conversations. You don't have to walk this path alone. It's not our natural state of being. We're tribal. Even those of us that tend to be quite solitary, we still need connection and community. So find the place that's right for you and know that you are not alone. Until then, don't just rise quietly. Rise all the way, out loud, in full color, on your own terms. You're ready. I believe in you. I see the light in you, and it is brilliant.
You are not broken. You are not too much. You're remembering who you've always been. And this journey is just getting started. If today's episode lit something in you, hit follow so you don't miss what's coming. And if you're feeling it, leave a review. It helps with more soul-led women find this space. Want to go deeper? Come find me on YouTube, Facebook, our private Facebook community, The Awakening Circle, Instagram, TikTok, or at our website, practicalspiritualismco.com, for all the ways we can rise together. Not to worry, all those links are in our show notes. Until next time, stay sovereign, stay bold, and keep that fire lit.